business, I'd like to invite Ms. Riza May Makaibay, Senior Tourism Operations Officer for Department of Tourism, Region 7.
Good afternoon, everyone. Mr. Kenneth Go, Ms. Kate and Mr. Marco Anzani, Mr. Marco Hansen, I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly, Mr. Brian Connolly, Mr. Didier Belmont, Mr. Mike Sharp, Ms. Pearl McCullen. Friends, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is our pleasure to welcome everyone to this afternoon's presser. 2 years ago, Ms. Kate and friends approached Yusek Tamano and proposed this idea of connecting and bridging the gap between farmers, food suppliers, and restaurateurs in one event to promote good food, signature dishes, and heirloom recipes. It is their hope that through this event, sustainable farming, culinary cultural exchanges, and small-time producers will be given attention through promotion and connection with different suppliers and, of course, the general public. It seemed very bold at that time to launch this project at the time of pandemic, but the group were very determined and intent on their vision. Hence, 2 years later, the group is gearing up to launch another edition, which is going to be bigger and bolder as they bring their event beyond the shores of Cebu. I'm sure they're going to share more information about this later. So with that, a hearty welcome to everyone attending today's presser, and good afternoon.
Thank you, Ms. Makaibay. And our next speaker is the President of the Cebu Chamber of Commerce, an avid supporter of our cause, Mr. Kenneth Ko.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am so glad to be here with the Cebu Food and Wine Festival founders. As you know, as earlier explained, this was born out of the pandemic. Although now we are out of the pandemic, but still, since it's a very good program, where the Cebu Chamber is very happy to partner again with the Cebu Food and Wine Festival. So, on behalf of the Cebu Chamber of Commerce of Industry, I'd like to extend my warmest greeting to all of you who have graced us with your presence this year's Cebu Food and Wine Festival media launch. As you may recall, the Cebu Food and Wine Festival started as a recovery project for the hospitality industry in 2021. Today, we stand proud as we witness the third edition of the festival, which has grown to be one of the most anticipated events of the year. Alongside the CFWF partners, the DOT, Central Visayas Office, Visit Central Visayas, and the Cebu Business Months, the Cebu Chamber is proud to be a partner in this celebration of our culinary culture and heritage. With the participation of various hotels, restaurants, national chefs, and mixologists, this year's festival is set to be an unforgettable one. The festival not only showcases the richness and diversity of our local produce and cuisine, but also provides a platform for our culinary artists to share their skills, knowledge, and passion with the world. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank and acknowledge our media partners who have joined us today. Your support and coverage in spreading the word and showcasing the festival to a wider audience. I invite you to be part of this amazing event, to discover new flavors, and to experience Cebu's culture and hospitality. Lastly, let me express my admiration for local Cebu culinarians who are the stars of this festival. With the exquisite culinary creations, it will surely place Cebu in the map, where the concordia of fresh produce from the sea and farmlands to create memorable and magical dishes that leave us in awe. Once again, I thank you all for being part of this event, and I hope you enjoy the Cebu Food and Wine Festival to the fullest. Let us celebrate Cebu's culinary excellence and connect more opportunities, grow more businesses, and create more value for all. Thank you.
So for our next speaker, I've had the pleasure of working with her now for 2 years on this project. Needless to say, she is a driven visionary and someone that does not take no for an answer. She always gets the job done. So I'd like to call on my dear friend, Kate Anzani.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. It's nice to see familiar faces and be able to speak to everyone today. I would like to, on behalf of the Cebu Food and Wine Festival, the Food and Wine Festival Philippines, and as chairman of the Tourism of Cebu Chamber of Commerce, it is a pleasure to be here today to share with you the third Food and Wine Festival for Cebu. Our mission is in the call to action, aligned with the National Tourism Development Plan for the year of 2023, with our Secretary Cristina Frasco under the Department of Tourism. This project is a highly successful private-public partnership that has been fortified with one goal, and this goal is to develop new products and to food stamp our culture. Our output will result in 200 new food developments for the Festival for Cebu. The theme this year is Savor Our Culture, with the purpose of raising the culinary bar for our country. The Cebu Food and Wine Festival was created to highlight cultural cuisine, highlight regional cuisine, people, and places. Unlike other festivals, people will come not only to taste the food and experience wine pairings, but also to savor our culture. Behind the food that creates progressive socio-economic impact for the region, the 2-week festival seeks to bridge the gap between the diner, the plate, and authentic, sustainable source of ingredients by making people pay for the true value of what they eat without underpricing labor, with local produce and suppliers that are constantly challenged with cheaper, more imported goods. Our goals are truly sustainable. You're here today, media, as we would like to ask for your help to tell the story of what the initiative represents and to tell the story of the 2-week festival. We have very exciting news, goals, and schedules for you that will help us complete the 200 food stamp Tatak Pinoy development that our DOT is asking for. As a result, you are to expect 25 national chefs all over the country to come to Cebu, 20 hotels getting involved, and 42 plus and growing restaurants for the 2-week festival. The activities in the festival will be composed of lunches, dinners, wine seminars, tasting, boat safari tours, maktan, playa, pop-up dinners, future food trend alerts, beach brunch. I can go on and on and on, right? Because usually a festival is 3 days, and we've made it quite an ambitious plan to do 2 weeks. And in this 2 weeks allows gathering, not only large in size, but also small gatherings that will be able to fulfill our plans to hit the goals of 200 products for the country. We are excited to make CFWF 2023 a historic milestone for Cebu. It started in Cebu, and we're quite proud that this framework has taken off on its 3rd year. And we hope that the media can be part of this worthwhile movement by telling the story, featuring the schedules, and having everyone know to come to Cebu and to the Philippines. Wait, there's more. So on top of Cebu rolling out a Food and Wine Festival, the Food and Wine Festival will carry its framework in the entire Philippines. And we are thankful to the DOT for recognizing the work being done. And you will expect that the Food and Wine Festival Philippines will roll out in July in Manila, September in Ilocos, November in Davao, and December in Baguio. It's a big call to action, and it started in Cebu, and we're so grateful that the DOT Secretary, Cristina Frasco, and USEC Shalimar has honored the success of the framework to develop in total 1,000 new product development all over the Philippines. It's a big ask. So you are looking at a very successful partnership between private sector and public sector, and you media are important in telling that story, because in the end of the year, we will have new 1,000 Tatak Pinoy products. So I won't want to take more of your time because we want you to hear what we have to offer. Today we introduced the working board, and without them, nothing moves. So thank you so much. Good afternoon. My name is Kate Chaco. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kate. So our next speaker is the new general manager of Radison Blue Hotel, who's been gracious enough to let us use this facility again, Mr. Marco Jensen.
Good afternoon, everyone. Dear Cebu media friends, Cebu Food and Wine Festival Board, and Senior Tourism Officer Riza Maka. My name is Marco Jensen. I'm the General Manager of the Radison Blue here in Cebu. As I continue to master my footing in Cebu, I look forward to getting to know the Cebu media more and our upcoming activities, and we are grateful for our continued and strong support from the media. With my background in food and beverage, food festivals are an exciting part of our annual calendar, as they are not only fun and delicious, but also because they are educational by helping direct introspections into different cultures. We are truly honored to be close partner once again with this year's Cebu Food and Wine Festival, and look forward to diving deeper into Region 7 cuisine. Compared to our participation last year, which was one night Grand Regional Cuisine tasting, this year we are doing a 3 days Grand Regional Tour buffet from June 15th to 17th, Friday to Sunday, featuring about 100 dishes spread over 70 meters buffet stations in our area. From breakfast to dinner, together with our award-winning kitchen team, led by our executive chef, Nick Ensgik, and sous chef Arnold Quailestino, and our guest chefs, Marco Villeray and Richie Aspiras. This will be a very special event that I can promise you. Allow me quick to share more good news as well, as SNN Hotels Convention Centers, together with Radison Hotel Groups, is opening another 14 hotels in the near 5 years. Soon we will be expecting Park and Radison hotels in the Cebu city, which means more opportunities for the venues for the food festivals here in Cebu. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. We hope to see more guests for this year in our leg of the food wine festival from the 15th to 17th, and I look more forward for the celebration. Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
So, as some of you may know, the Food and Wine Festival is pillared by 2 major events, the grand opening and the grand closing. These were the 2 first and only events in our first year. So, to talk about this year's grand opening, I'd like to call on Mia Macy of Crimson Mactan Resort and Spa.
Hi everyone, my name is Nia in behalf of my general manager who is currently in France having his grand vacation before all of the CFWF activities. I'd like to share, of course, a little more about the grand tasting event happening on June 3rd, that's Saturday, at the Crimson Resort and Spa Mactan. Of course, a lot of curious people have asked me just this afternoon, are we gonna be open yet? Unfortunately, not just yet. We will be open exclusively only for the CFWF Grand Tasting, which will be at the beachfront of the resort. we will also have, just the night before the grand tasting event, we will have a very special four-hand dinner. This is going to be a pre-festival preview with Chef Shelly Gonzalez and Tatong Sardo. And a lot more details will be available, of course, through this video, which I will share with you. May 15, we will be extending a 10% early bird discount. So you can use the QR code here or visit the Facebook page of Crimson Resort in Sumamactan to get linked to the ticket sales. Of course, we'd like to again thank Department of Tourism and as well Lapu-Lapu City Tourism for the support and continued partnership with Crimson to make this event possible. Thank you.
I'm excited to see what Crimson is going to look like after their long renovation. So, the Food and Wine Festival would not be what it is today without the collaboration of the experts. We have, of course, the chefs and the mixologists. And this year, I'm really happy to tell you guys that we've surpassed last year's level of participation. And I believe we have 24, probably 25 chefs coming from around the country. In addition to collaborating, let's not forget, with our own Cebu homegrown talents as well. So, whom better to talk about that than a great chef himself, Mr. Marco Anzani.
Hello, hi everyone. So I want to say we are one, we are together. My name is Marco Anzani. I am a restaurateur, a founder of the Cebu Food and Wine Festival. What is Cebu Food and Wine Festival? Maybe some of you already know, but actually I'm proud to say it was a kind of dream, an expertise during the traveling and be able to see other countries similar of Cebu Island. So yes, I'm talking like a Hawaiian island. I've been invited several times to do the Hawaiian Food and Wine Festival. I say why Cebu doesn't give you the same prestige to go together. Here we are today, after 4 years of incubation, and we already have 2 food and wine festivals in Cebu. And this year, finally, I can say that is the reason I call We Are One, because we need your support, we need the support of the chef, we need the support of the brain behind. So we're really excited to exceed the expectation. And we're working already for the next year to have an international crowd. An international crowd where is the chef and the mixology can bring external technique, external product to make Cebu a Philippine to experience. So, this year already, like Mike already mentioned, we already have the pleasure to introduce few of the chefs coming, few from overseas, a few from Manila. So the first I need to mention, Chef Reggie Dasperas is already engaged us and will do like a pre-introduction, if you allow me to call it that, in Sheraton Hotel. So I will have also passed to this hotel and the following day So it will be Radison Blue. I will have also demonstration the following day in Anzani restaurant, in my restaurant. So I don't want to explain each chef what is going to do with us, but I will just mention to you few the name that they're going to participate of this festival. So like I already said, was actually Reggie Raspiras, Tatum Shorto was already mentioned, Chele Gonzalez, Josh Botwood, John Bonaventura, and this is coming from Dubai. We need to acknowledge he is an international chef. And also from Dubai, of course. And we have Naoki Kaguchi, who is from Japan. This is the first phase. We divide the chef in phases because some of them is going to do opening, and some chef they're going to do the closing, and some of them they're going to distribute to restaurants. So the calendar will come out and will actually mention more which chef and where and which meal is going to prepare for us. The second phase, we will have a chef, a good friend of mine, Sao de Rosario, and will be also James Antolin, Happy Ompango, Miko Aspiras. Myself also will do a cooking with the 6 N, so we will have 2 chefs additionally in Anzani, and we will prepare a special meal for all of you. And we have also a very great news. Belmont Hotel is already announced that will bring a Michelin star from overseas. We cannot mention yet the name because it's not confirmed. We hope to give you this information as soon as possible. For the third phase, we're going to have a chef Andrew Malarkey, Marco Villarreal, Kate Coritana, Chef Bugia, and Chef Sherwin T. And much more other that are already in our restaurant, in our hotel, that they actually produce every day. They will actually have a specialty dish ingredient to offer to you. I hope to make a little bit clear what we will do this year for you. It's not only 15 days that we do per year. We want to have the branding of Cebu Food and Wine Festival ringing all around the year. We don't want it to just wait another year. Everybody waiting for the next June of 2024 to have something coming up. We will come out and based on the result of this 15 days to re-promote every 2 to 3 months to have a spread event, not only in Luzon and other islands, but especially in Cebu, because we are very hard given here in Cebu. We want to maintain Cebu up to the rest of the Philippines. So I need to be seen number 1. So let me pass the mic to Michael and the president of Crumble, and will actually continue to the introduction. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Introduce myself as a charismatic and good-looking guy, but thank you, Marco, for robbing me of that. So, I don't want to list all the participating venues. Actually, I'd prefer that you guys visit our social media pages. You get a clearer picture of what's going on, where it's happening. But what I will share is, last year when we were in front of you, it was the first time that we were putting together a true 2-week festival that wasn't just 2 venues. It was our first year, so we didn't know exactly how things were going to pan out. Last year, we were able to accomplish, I think proudly, 27 venues participated in the Food and Wine Festival. And this year, we're looking upwards of 40, almost 50 participating hotels and restaurants. And why we take such good pride, so much pride in including as many venues as possible is because we want locals and travelers to really experience Cebu through the lens of food. So, I'm sure you guys have your own favorite restaurants, but as last year, we also want to encourage everyone to try new things, because sometimes you can discover things in your own city, right? So, the usual suspects, the supporters of Food and Wine from last year, we have places like Crimson, J Park, we have Shangri-La, Sheraton, Dusit, New Star, of course the Radison, and I'm happy to say Seda, Belmont, the newly opening Belmont and Savoy will be joining us this year. And to name some of the restaurants, as Marco mentioned, we have the always refined Anzani, the new and contemporary Curate, the homey yet familiar Abiceria, Cava, Boca, Pueblo, a Mexican restaurant, and I'm excited for you guys to experience Filipino food through shared culture, through shared Mexican culture at Pueblo. Carne, to name a few. This year, we're expecting over 6,000 attendees across these 40 venues, and that's about it. And before I move on to my next speaker, I'd like to call on a son of Cebu, the embodiment of hospitality, Brian Connolly.
Thank you, Mike. I'm just a humble hotelier, an innkeeper of a very large property in Mactan at a beautiful beach. So come and visit us when you have a chance. And when you're coming to visit us, please take advantage of the 4 events that we're going to be having. Now, there's always talk at the start of the event. We talk about the grand tasting, the kickoff. But nobody talks about the best comes at the end. And so for that, we'll be doing a very special, well, it's going to be about 10 and a half hands, right? We have 5 fantastic chefs coming from Manila, and I'll have one hand in there clapping, cheering them on. So 10 hands, 5 chefs, different courses, wines to complement each course, a gin bar when you get there. It'll be just a spectacular evening. But in addition to that, we're going to have a little barbecue at our little pirate bar on the beach. We're going to have an event in our Chinese restaurant, Shanghai. And then on Sunday, not to be outdone by my good friend, my new good friend, Marco, we're going to have a rosé brunch where there'll be about 8 different rosés to taste as you dine on wonderful brunch food by the ocean. I'm originally from the U.S. I live in a town called Santa Fe, New Mexico. And the festival sort of culture has been in my blood because we have in our city one of the most popular ones in the U.S. called the Santa Fe Wine and Chili Festival every year in September. I was just back there last year for the festival, and it is ahead of us, but not by far. And they have over 20 years experience. So we are growing rapidly. But beyond that, we can be very proud of the fact that we're the only festival that I know of that's national, that's going national. And that's something to be very proud of. That's something to say Philippine food can be put on the map. And in addition to all the chefs and the hotels and the restaurateurs and the mixologists, we always want to keep in mind the person who makes it all possible. That's the farmer. The farmers are the people that work hard all day, and they grow the food that we use to serve you. And I think we should never forget them. And that was one of the genesis when we sat down in the middle of the pandemic to design this wine and food festival, was to think about how do we help our farmers and how do we get them to grow more unique products, more specialties, and how do we take the things that are indigenous to Cebu and make them better known. And that's really what we're talking about, stamping the right food by making things marked. We all know that the Japanese and the Italians actually have associations that go out and ensure that the quality of the food that's called Italian or Japanese is actually as authentic as it can be. And we want to see that happen here in the Philippines. I know that my brother lives in Chicago, and one of the 1 Michelin star restaurants in Chicago is a Philippine restaurant. So that's pretty special. And he's been there a couple times, and he says, bloody hell, you never told me the food was so good. Now I'm going to come and visit you. So in its own way, our food can be a way of getting people to come and visit us and make our island more popular and have more tourists and make the water in the boat rise for everybody. So this humble hotelier has to go back to his island. It's a long drive, but it was worth it. It was good to be here with you. Thank you, media, for all that you do for us by spreading the good word and getting people to come out and try this food. Try these chefs. 25 chefs. We have 5 at the J Park. And these guys are so excited. I talked to 2 in the car, and they are really excited to come and do something here on this island with us, with our ingredients, and for all of you. So thank you very much. See you at the festival. Thank you.